Good morning to all of you. Long time not seen. Okay, there you are.
Hello,
Start a, please.
hello, teacher.
Hi,
Good morning.
good morning. Start turning your cameras on, please. I did, there you go. Thanks, Genesis. Please, everybody, start typing your name and the word here next to it, so I have the register of attendance. Okay, again, your classmate is not here. Well, Justin is coming. Hi, Jocelyn. Nice to meet you. Finally. Iker and Justin, please remember you need to have your camera on. And every student in the classroom should type their name and the word here next to it. Let me open our book so we can start working. Hey, Arata, please remember it's with your name and then the word here, because sometimes, like when you save the when Zoom saves the messages, I don't see who typed it. I just have the register of all the messages, but I don't have the register of who typed it, at least not in the free version. I don't know if the paid version is different, but um, but here, I don't think I can do that. So you need to type your name. Excellent, thank you. Okay, guys, I hope you have the chance to start checking, well, the ones that are already registered and entered or enrolled in the platform for Cambridge. I think that it has a lot of nice resources. It has videos, it has games and several other activities. So I hope you have the chance to go and check it and start seeing what's the content, what's the tests like, what are the worksheets like, how difficult they are, their writing activities. Well, there are a lot. So I hope you have the time to check that, because it is a really nice one. Really nice platform with a lot of good content. Okay, guys, I think we were able to finish welcome unit. So we're gonna go to start the second one, the first unit, the actual first unit today. Let me see. We talked about food, we talked about meeting people, we talked about outdoor activities, and we were talking about travel plans, which is like the last one. Yes, today we finish and we can start a new one. There we go. So we were talking about in previous class about travel plans, right? We did all these activities, and we were talking and we were discussing about first conditional, right? Remember these this type of conditional in which, sorry, you establish the cause and consequence type of relation between both of them. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm kind of with the flu, so it's messing up with my nose and my throat. Sorry for that. So I hope it doesn't happen again. So we were talking about cause and consequence, right? If I miss the train, I catch a taxi because no train, because the train already left. And so you're going to get a taxi as a consequence. What's the cause? No train. Consequence, taxi. Okay. Your first plan is not to take a taxi, it's to take the train. But because you missed the train left and you were not there, so you're going to take a taxi. Okay, so cause and consequence. Of course, when we talk about cause and consequence, one is going to be in the present, the cause, what is happening right now, and the effect will usually come after, later, okay, after the cause or after the first action, right? So the consequence will usually be in simple future or future tense, okay? If I miss present right now, the train, I will catch a taxi or the next one. Sorry, this says the next one. Okay, the next train. Okay, let's say the train departs every 20 minutes. So you have to wait the other 20 minutes to get the next train, or maybe 10 minutes, I don't know. Okay, so that will be the relationship between the two clauses, the if clause. Let me put the light. The if clause, which is the cause, which is the cause of the two actions. And the second part, which is future tense, which is going to be the effect. The if clause talks about the cause of this other event. Okay, that's the relationship they have. This event causes this event to happen. Si este no sucede, this one either. Okay, that would be the real thing. If I miss the train, so there's 50% of possibilities I miss a train and 50% of possibilities I don't miss the train. Okay, if I miss the train, I will have to wait for the next train. But if I don't, if I go on that train, then I will not have to catch the next one, right? So in number 2, let's analyze number 2. Justin Jaramillo, can you tell me can you explain just the way I did with sentence number 2? What is the cause? What's the consequence? What's happening?
I don't know.
Read it first.
If the rain arrived late, I will take
A taxi. Excellent. So if the train arrives late, I will take a taxi. So what's the cause, Justin, on that sentence? Which is the cause of the event?
arrive.
The train arrives late or I will take a taxi? What's the cause and what's the consequence? So cause or consequence? Genesis, can you help me out, please? Which of these two events, two actions, would you consider to be the cause and which one the consequence?
Sure, can you explain that how is cause?
Yes, which is the cause? The cause.
What is the cause? I don't know.
I mean, the reason for something to happen. For example,
Oh, okay, okay,
uh,
okay.
okay,
Okay, yeah. These sentences say that the train is. You say that it's simple past, simple present, correct?
mhm,
Simple present. Say that it's possibility that will take a taxi
mhm.
if the train arrives. O sea, is present simple, but impossibility with will. I don't know how
Yeah,
explain.
okay. I'm trying to get what you mean. Like both of them are related, but one happens first and the other happens after. Is that what you mean?
So,
Kind of. Okay, so listen. The train arrives late, or I taking me, the person who was late, whose train was late, okay? I will take a taxi or taking a taxi. Which of these two actions happens first, Angel?
If train arrive late and will take a taxi.
Ya, ¿cuál de las dos pasa first? Primero. Which one
The
happens
consequence,
first?
okay, the consequence. Ay, ¿cómo era? A ver, a ver.
If you have
Arrive.
no,
If the
uh,
train arrive, the
uh-huh.
consequence or no?
You think that the train arrives is the consequence.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the first is the train, but if not right, the train probably uh,
I may take a
the
taxi.
shit taxi, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
The
Well,
correctly, the consequence.
kind of. Not exactly, but you're like trying to understand it, and that is very good. So listen, remember that we have two actions, right? Cause and consequence. I feel sad because I my dog died. Okay, so let's analyze that. I am sad is the consequence of the dog being dead, right? Si se murió mi perrito, obviamente voy a estar triste, right? Cause, the death. Consequence, being sad. Okay? So, ¿cuál de las dos pasa primero? Which of both of them happens first? ¿Primero se muere el perrito o primero yo me pongo
Oh,
triste?
The
because
die.
is take a taxi and the consequence is the train arrives.
No. I
No,
was explaining
what?
the opposite.
No,
So,
I don't know.
because the train arrives late, I take a taxi. Si el tren no llega tarde, yo no cojo ningún taxi,
Por eso,
right? So, entonces lo que estaban diciendo al principio es que the train arrives late es la causa.
no, I say that is,
The consequence.
yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
el tren es la causa de que por qué no
Ajá.
cogí el taxi. The cause if the train arrive, the consequence is
Exactly.
will take a taxi.
Exactly. The train, ¿cuál es la realidad que yo estoy poniendo aquí? ¿Cuál es la realidad que yo estoy poniendo? The train arrives late. Ya llegó tarde el tren. Consequence, if that happens, I will definitely take a taxi. So the cause for me being in a taxi is because the train is late. So that's the cause. And the consequence is I will take a taxi. Porque cojo el taxi porque llegó tarde el tren, right? So that's cause, the train arrives late. Consequence, I will take a taxi. Done. Understood, yes. Is it clear? Or if you have any doubts, please share it. Today we have 2 hours.
Also, teacher.
So let's analyze one more, okay? One more. Okay, let's go with number 6. Remember, present tense and then future tense. Julio, help me out, please, completing this sentence once more. Igual this exercise, we did it yesterday. Julio, so present tense, if we not have, how do we say negative of have?
De la 3, mi.
Number 6.
Ah. If we don't hate.
Don't have.
Ajá, don't hate.
Don't have.
A good time I don't visit you again.
Remember, it's with will.
Don't visit.
¿Cuál es el negativo
No.
de will, miss? ¿Cómo se pronuncia el negativo de will?
Won't.
Ah,
Won't. Uh-huh. I want what, Julio?
Visit.
Visit.
You
Continue
again.
reading. You again. Thanks, Julio. So, present tense and then future tense, ¿verdad? Recordemos que this one is will plus not, right? Para que se acuerden. Ahí lo voy a poner. So, if we don't have a good time, we won't visit you again. So let's imagine you go to the house of one of your friends. You go to the house of you go to your best friend's house, right? With a group of friends. And you say, if we don't have a good time, if we don't have fun, if this party is not good, okay, we won't come again. So you won't visit that person anymore. Okay, so it's like a responsibility for that person to make you happy. But yes, okay, so cause and consequence. Let's analyze. Si yo no la visito nunca más, if I won't visit again, why is that? Génesis Campuzano.
Can you repeat the question, please?
So let's analyze the sentence, okay? If I never visit you again, why? What's the reason for that to happen?
Si tengo que dar una razón de por qué no la voy a visitar de nuevo.
Exactly.
Because I changed my house.
Read the sentence. Read the sentence one more time.
If you don't have a good time, I won't visit you again.
So if you don't visit, what's the reason?
Because if we don't have a good time.
Because you didn't have a good time. Excellent. So what is the cause and what is the consequence, guys? Who can tell me? Okay, which of these ones is the cause and which is the consequence? Read it.
The consequence is the won't visit again, and the cause is we don't have a good time.
Excellent. Great, Genesis. Exactly. So we didn't have a good time in your house. That is why I won't visit again. So coming to the first statement, to what they say, they didn't have a good time because they didn't visit again. So this would be the cause and this one, the consequence. It's the consequence of not having a good time. Okay. Te dije que si no I didn't spend a good time, ya no te visitaba nunca más. Okay, so that's the cause, and the not visiting again would be the consequence. I really hope I'm trying to be as clear as possible on this topic so you get it. But it is working, you're getting it, very nice. Okay, so let me show you. Important. There are other forms to say if, but not exactly if, okay? But we call these ones conditionals because it gives a condition for something to happen, ¿verdad? Que es una condición. It's a conditional porque nos pone una condición. That condition must happen so the result is correct. O sea, esa condición debe primero realizarse para que la segunda acción suceda, right? That's what we call them conditionals, okay? Sí vamos a ser amigos, pero sí te perdono, pero con una condición. Tienes que visitarme todos los días y mandarme mensajes todos los días. That's a condition, right? Si no se cumple esa condición, entonces ustedes no vuelven a ser amigos, okay? So the same happens in here. If is going to give me a condition that needs to become real so the other activity happens. Okay, esta condición tiene que volverse real para que la otra pueda suceder. For example, there have to be a late train, so I take a taxi. Si no hay ningún train late, I don't take a taxi. Okay, so that's a condition. May happen, may not happen. May happen, may not happen. Okay? So if we translate I really like, it's not that I'm using Spanish because it's easier to explain, but it's easier to understand grammar through translation sometimes. I'm really not a friend of translation, not to speak in Spanish or not to translate directly word by word because it's usually not correct. But in these cases, for understanding grammar structure, I tend to use translation so you can understand the concept. Usualmente estos temas no se comprenden bien en español, el pretérito perfecto, el pretérito pluscuamperfecto, that you may really not remember about them. Okay, entonces como esas estructuras no están enseñadas de esa forma estructurada en español en su cabeza, es muy complicado entenderlas en inglés. Me confunde mucho, me olvido de la S. Es que yo sí lo sabía, Miss, pero me olvidé de poner la S. O yo sí sabía que se decía don't y puse doesn't porque me confundí. It's very common for that to happen in grammar, okay? So try to focus a lot because I get it's hard, but you can really understand it if you really pay attention. So let's continue. We can say other conditions that may happen. For example, I will send you a message when I get to the station. So, si usted todavía no llega, you are not going to send anything, right? That's the condition that must be real before the other action happens. These have to be real for this other action to happen. So, important. Here is a great example of what I was trying to say between cause and consequence. Yeah. So, pay attention to this sentence. Jocelyn, can you read, please?
I'll send you a text message when I get to the station.
Okay, so look at the example, Jocelyn. Let's pay attention to it. Send a message when? What's the condition that must be real? Get to the station. Okay, si tú no has llegado a la estación, what are you going to text a message? Let's say you don't get to the station, you get to the house. If you're in the house, are you going to send a text?
No, because you're in the house.
No, because you are not in the station. You said you were going to send the message when you are on the station, and the house is not the station, right? So which of these ones, which of these two clauses holds the cause and which one holds the consequence? According,
The
what do you think?
consequence, the consequence
Wait a
is,
second, Angel.
oh,
I
okay,
was
sorry,
waiting for
teacher.
Jocelyn. Don't worry, I will give you the chance later.
Teacher, can you repeat the question and just
Which
say
is the cause and which is the consequence? Send a message or get to the station?
the consequence?
Which is the consequence?
Uh, the message because she's he's in the station.
Okay, and
In
what's
the
the cause?
station.
So the cause is,
Message. No, not
you
the
may be
station.
confused.
The station to the
Get
station.
to the station. Very good. So I send a message is a consequence. Get to the station is the cause. Okay. The cause of the message is getting to the station. If you don't get to the station, no message. So the condition that must be real for the second one to happen is get to the station. The cause for the message is getting to the station. So get to the station, cause, and send the message, consequence. In this example, you can notice how it is sometimes at the beginning and sometimes at the end. It's not that always at the beginning they're going to be the cause and the consequence at the end. Not exactly like that. We can have the consequence at the beginning and the cause at the end. It doesn't change the fact that they are cause and consequence. Okay. Yeah, Justin is having a lot of problems with internet too. A lot of students are today. So I hope really this was very helpful for understanding that conditionals. Okay, let's go to the next activity. So use the past simple of the following verbs. We have take, catch, drive, fly, miss, and ride. Okay, so here we see a sequence of events. Okay, so we're going to start reading and completing each one of the sentences. Let's start. Justin Castillo. Read 0 and start with number 1. Justin, can you turn your microphone on? No, he's frozen. One more time. Arat, can you read number 0 and then complete and read number 1?
Read.
Yes, 0 read only.
She took a taxi in Paris.
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 Number 1.
She the train in Munich.
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 So what do you think is the correct word here? Catch, drive, fly, miss, or ride?
Mm, right.
Look, look where is the train and where is she? What is happening with the train?
Right. No.
Not exactly. Ride is a horse. You ride a horse or you ride a bicycle. So, no es catch porque ya se le fue. It's not drive because she's not driving. You know what drive is, right? Fly, of course, is not the one. And ride, I told you, is with a horse or a bicycle. So what do you think is the answer?
Miss.
Miss. Miss is a regular verb. Do you remember how to say regular verbs in past? What two letters are missing?
Missed, I was in.
Exactly. She missed. But remember, when a verb in past finishes in S and we put ed next to it, it should sound like a letter T. Missed. She missed the train to Munich. Iker, number 2, please.
She coached the train in Vietnam.
You said it's catch.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how's catch in past tense?
Coached.
Caught. Good. Yeah, Justin, I see you're having problems with internet. But let me check how to say past because I really love saying this moment. And check a second. Oh, what happened? Yeah, this is the way. Okay, I really wanted to, to spell it correctly. She caught the train to Vienna. Next one, Julio. Julio, number 3.
She flew
She
to
flew.
Rome.
She flew to Rome. Ah. Jocelyn, number 4.
I can say again the word
Ah, okay, there you are.
drive.
Do you remember how's drive in past tense?
Drive it.
Not exactly. This is an irregular verb.
Draw.
Drove. Thanks, Jocelyn. Thanks, Genesis and Jocelyn. Okay. She drove to Madrid. Number 5. Genesis Campuzano. Number 5.
She drive or ride a bike in Athens.
Right. Very good. It's right, but do you remember how's right in past tense?
No.
Rode. She rode a bike in over there. This is a lot better than the other one. Okay, guys, great job. We did a lot of this ones. A lot of past tense vocabulary review. So read and complete. Use be going to, remember when we check future tenses and future plans? Well, Now we're going to be talking or using be going to, or I'm going to, or is going to, or are going to, okay? Remember, verb to be as auxiliary and the next verb going to and the following verb in base form. Going to dance, going to work, going to eat, okay? So we have 6 sentences to complete. Let's start. Well, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, yeah, until the class is over. So you can complete those exercises, okay? Try to complete it. Remember, if you don't have your notebook, sorry, you don't have your book, you should be copying all of these on a paper, okay? A lot of your classmates are missing, by the way. Sorry, I didn't tell you the number of the page. We are on page 11. I just checked. We're on page 11 working. So everybody working on their books, and the ones that don't have the book have to be copying and finishing these answers, completing the sentences, okay? At least you need to copy the answers, okay? So if you don't have the book, I still need a registration of you working. So I really need you to do this. Pen and paper, no
Teacher.
problem. Yes?
This extra is in present continuous.
No, it's not present continuous. It's be going to. So be going to and base form of the verb, not ing. Okay, so try not to be confused by that. The ones that don't have the book, please, you have to be working. And the ones that do, of course, completing on their pages. A lot of people is missing today. Everybody should be working. I'm gonna ask the answers after this class is over and we do the next one, right?
Teacher, the verb is in past, in